Well, hello everyone. It's Granny. So we're on the next video, actually part 6. Where is Sebastian? And we are looking at the interview with Holly Thompson from WSMV4 TV. And we are also looking at a behavior analysis of this interview of Chris and Katie. Okay. Just want to preface again everything to say that these are my opinions. I'm just want to take a look at everything to see what we may have missed from the beginning. And there's been a couple of things that have stood out to me from this interview. Number one, I am surprised, no, shocked at how distraught Katie is here. Why should I be shocked? This is a mother who has lost her son, right? Well, I say that because in other videos since this one, which are very few that she has done, and even most recently in court, her actions and her demeanor do not portray a woman who is brokenhearted about losing her son. It's just the way I see it. It's my opinion. I know that it's the opinion of many other people, but that is the way that I see it. So it had been a while since I had seen this interview, and yes, I'm in shock because I believe she may be a good actress, but I believe she's showing actual upset, over her son being gone. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that we can get right into it. And let's go.
So you said you were on the phone with her, so yes, you were not home?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I was at work. I'm a tower crane operator, and I was working in Memphis at the St. Jude Project. So it's, I have an earpiece in that talks to my phone. I have another earpiece in that does the radios. So when she was talking to me, it was like, what? I was confused. We talked about where he could possibly be, and then we went from there and led to calling the cops, and here we are now.
Within minutes, they're there at the home.
Yes, ma'am.
It was rapid fire. They had cars. They had cars from here down to the
main
road, as far as I could tell.
So what's going through both of your minds? I mean, are we panicking? Is it this, I think he's probably at a neighbor's house, or what are you thinking?
My son doesn't run. He's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means. But there's answers to questions that have no answers, or questions with no answers right now that we are searching for desperately. And we just don't have that.
Chase, what do you got?
One thing I would really expect to see with these questions that are being asked is what we call target locking behavior. And this kind of pairs in with something called confirmation glance. And this one behavior I've seen in somebody who's guilty every time they have this behavior. And it's typically during two super key points here. And the first one is when a super critical question is being asked that can help them to shape their perception a little bit, when their innocence can be displayed. Second is during and just after their answer to make sure that the interviewer believes it. And we're not seeing any of this here at all. When she's talking, he is comfortable looking at her. And this is more common in innocent people, where guilty people want to do two things. Number one is keep an eye on the interviewer, and two, avoid looking like they're influencing or persuading the other person by looking at them. I know it's irrational, but that's what the fight or flight brain believes. Mother and father or stepfather have an equal amount of exasperation with not being able to understand why he's missing. And the mother is comfortable guessing he walked out the door instead of introducing and injecting ambiguity and uncertainty about some course of events. So that's very good. So keep in mind, when we see small behaviors like Greg talking about him grabbing his arm just a second ago, one of the reasons we talk about clusters so much, pointing out one behavior in isolation is next to meaningless. We've got to have these little clusters of behavior for anything significant to come out of it. That's all I got here, Scott.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you Chase is feeling that they're being honest and real here is when they're talking about Sebastian walking out the door. Looking back 7.5 months, we know that there is no evidence that Sebastian walked out that door. So I don't know. I guess this part where Chase is saying this is kind of confusing to me. But as well, I don't see anything in that clip that suggests that they were being deceptive myself. So tell me what you guys see in this.
Yeah, I agree. It's this in this video. It's hard not to go over the same stuff, so I'll try to knock out a bunch of the same stuff. But Greg, I agree with you. When he's scratching his arm, it seems like something's up there. I think all that's happening here is he's trying to find something to say, so he'll have something to say. I don't think he's a big talker when it comes to, tell us what you think about so and so. I don't think he's one to drone on and on. So I think for each one of these situations, he's just looking for something to say. He's just trying to be involved, trying to say something.
Scott, one thing I would add, I think it's really easy to pick a thing and lock down, and not just forget body language, the scratch. The whole point I was making is that, and then he opens up. So there's a difference. It's also the same thing. Why didn't you choose this question instead of that question? Look, people are under stress. They make different decisions. And this is a reason, like statement analysis, you got to be really careful with where you assign words to people based on where they're from and all that kind of stuff. Just a thought.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And then when he's trying to look more concerned than he's very concerned. Don't get me wrong, but he's trying to look concerned. And I'm under the impression that because he looks concerned for a second, then he goes away fairly quickly. Real emotions stick, even though he's feeling these emotions. He's not deep.
Now I find that very interesting. They said he's trying to look concerned. And then he shows concern, but it goes away really quickly. I find that very, very interesting.
Like his wife. And my father always said, if in a marriage, if one of you is in the ditch, in other words, one of them is down, so got a lot of stuff going on, you can't get in the ditch with him or you'll both be in the ditch. So he may be one of those guys. It's like trying to stay out of it and trying to be I'm the guy here and I'm going to take care of everything. So that could be what we're seeing as well, which I'm tending, it's starting to look like that a little bit for me.
Okay. What do you think on his thoughts here? That he's one of those guys that feels like he has to be strong. In my opinion, I think that Chris may be one of those guys. I think Southern men usually are, right? Even when you look at Seth, I think you see the same thing, trying to stay in control, trying to be the control, the strong one. I do kind of see Chris in that light. But I think there's more underlying as to why he doesn't show emotion.
But he doesn't really even answer the question there. It's just, he doesn't even answer it. And of course, she goes along showing the same emotional transmissions and transmitting the same thing that she has been up to this point. So nothing's changed much for her. She's just showing us all the body language of a grieving mother. Try not to repeat stuff you guys just said. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, just one thing is that when he was talking about being up in that crane tower early in the morning, receives the call, he's got his walkie-talkie in one ear and his phone in the other ear. I kind of thought, wow, that's pretty early to be working. And then I realized Mrs. Atwood out the back here, she's got a tower block being built behind her place, and I can see the crane as we speak, and it's moving around, and that starts as soon as the sun comes up. So I don't know at what time the guy must climb up that, in the dark, which wouldn't be a job that I would want to do any day of the week. So, look, often we don't understand the working times of other people, what their work is like. And it's very easy if they're doing something which is outside of our scope for us to go, well, that's really odd behavior.
Okay, and we know since this video that I think these guys published this on the 14th of March. So we know since this video, we've heard from a coworker who says he shouldn't be up there that early, right? So just a little bit of extra added information in there from what we know now.
Until we look around and go, for their life, it's not odd behavior at all. That's all I got on that one. Let's have another.
I have a buddy. Check this out. A buddy named Kyle and his sister. Hang on. His sister Kira met one of those guys as he was climbing, going to the tower. She could see him from their window, and as he climbed the thing, and every day she would see him doing that. Make a long story short, they got married. He'd go up again, down again, all that stuff, and she'd see him every day, a couple of times, and they got married.
I don't know whether I see the same relationship for Mrs. Atwood and the crane driver.
Another Atwood incident.
One of those tape replays.
So you said you were.
Okay, so that is our interview for today. Kind of interesting. What do you guys think we found out today? I think a lot of the same, that Chris does not show a lot of emotion. It would be interesting to know him in real life to see what he's like. Because I think that anybody that is on an interview is going to be portraying a different side of themselves. Is he trying to be the strong one and show that to the public? Is that what he's trying to do? Which, like I said, I think a lot of Southern men are like that. Do you think that's what's going on? And really, guys, I want to know what your thoughts are on Katie's demeanor in this interview. To me, we're about 15 minutes in so far, and I see a distraught woman. Am I wrong? I don't know. Is she that good of an actress? I don't know. I'm not sure. So tell me what you guys think. Let me know, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.